Hey guys, sorry this video is kind of late in the day. I had to work until 3 Pacific time, and I worked late yesterday, so I didn't really have time to do it before to get it up today until now. So yeah, hence the reason I look a little sweaty and a bit of a mess. I just got home and decided to quick get this before it was too late, or before anyone thought I forgot, which I didn't. But yeah, I had to work really early this morning, and just got home now. So, yeah, this week is talking about Caitlyn Jenner and about trans being a trend. I'm gonna do what I think the rest of the guys did, or at least most of them, and talk about Caitlyn Jenner first. I've seen a lot of stuff. I've kind of been one of those people who looks through the comments just to see what people are saying, both good and bad. I think partially just to see what people's opinions are, like the negative opinions, just because I'm not used to it, I guess, and I don't really know much about why people think bad things in the first place, in regards to that. And it's been pretty interesting, to say the least. I mean, I'm all for Caitlyn Jenner. I get that it's people are gonna kind of figure their stuff out on their own time. I mean, there are like kids that are like 3 years old that like already know that they are a different gender than what they were assigned at birth. Myself, I didn't figure that out until I was 27. No, way before that. I don't know, mid-20s. I didn't really figure that out until then. There are guys on this channel that are younger than me, that already, have known it, and, so it's like everyone kind of figures it out and, like, takes the action when they feel ready to do it. And that's, I know a couple customers at work who are just kind of going through all of it, and they're kind of middle-aged trans women. So it, when I honestly think it's tough to kind of, I feel like it would be tougher when you're older, and you've already had, like, spent half of your life already as like one gender, especially if you know that you feel inside that you're a different gender. Hold on, sorry. Something in my back is hurting really bad. Anyway, I think it'd be tough to kind of be, of an older age and kind of figure this out, or like take the action. I also think it's, there are people who don't realize that they're gay until they're like older. They could be married with kids, much like Caitlyn was, and then realize that they're gay, and it, changes that relationship. It's just how it works. Whether they knew it the whole time and just didn't do anything about it until later, like didn't have, the courage or, the support or whatever to do it until later, it's not really up to us to pass judgment on that. It's, because you're gonna do what you want to do with your life. Things happen. Like, life happens. Change happens. Like, why are people so against it? Like, it's not like the trans community is really doing anything bad to you. We're just trying to, like, be ourselves. I mean, isn't that kind of the most important thing in life, is to be yourself? So more power to Caitlyn, for kind of coming out. I think it's even harder having, been linked to the Kardashians and all of that drama, which is already full of drama, and then doing that. And I mean, I think that takes more guts. But anyway, I feel like I'm kind of rambling because I wanted to get this out quickly, and so my thoughts may not be fully coherent, so I apologize if maybe I'm talking in circles or not making any sense. I don't know. We'll see. This may be one of the first fully unedited ones that I've done. But bottom line is, I think what Caitlyn Jenner is doing is awesome. I think everyone needs to back off. I do think there are some things about her that are a bit questionable. I saw the interview that she had with Ellen about her opinion on gay marriage, and all of that, and how she didn't actually have a full opinion. It was very much like, well, if that's what you need to do, then great. But it's basically a roundabout way of saying, do whatever you want to do. I don't really support it, but do what you want to do. And it's like, you want to be accepted, and you need to accept people who are in the same community as you, the broader community, but still your community, because it just kind of seems messed up, especially if she hasn't admitted whether she's going to date men or women, but if she ends up dating women and wants to, have any sort of life, I mean, she probably won't get married again. I don't know. I don't know her personally. I don't know her life. But to basically go on Ellen and in a roundabout way say that she doesn't fully support gay marriage seems a bit shiesty. But whatever, everyone's got their opinions and their feelings and their views and whatever, and that's fine. I guess I personally just don't understand it, but that's okay. And as far as trans being a trend, I think that's kind of bogus too. I think it's not, people think it's a trend just because it's finally kind of coming out into the public eye, and you're like, oh, well, it's just a trend, like whatever, like, no, it's just finally, light is finally being shed upon it. Like, it's so people are actually starting to pay attention to what's been happening for like forever. The thing that I find funny about that is, and in tie to Caitlyn Jenner, is that I don't know how many people watching this channel remember when Chaz Bono came out as a trans man, and there was a whole news segment on that and his life, and there's a whole like video documentary called Becoming Chaz. That happened years ago, and yet no one made a huge deal out of it, or if they did, it's already like no one's talking about it anymore, or no one's talked about it for years. There wasn't some big media spectacle, there wasn't some big thing, and yet still the transgender community was still kind of a in the shadows, hiding, waiting. And it honestly seems like it wasn't until recently that people started actually paying attention to it, which I find interesting. It's like, so you're not gonna, it takes a trans woman and like Laverne Cox and Caitlyn, and I'm missing a couple, to really show light. So it takes someone going from a man to a woman for like the media and for the public to actually start having an opinion or giving a shit about transgender people. I think that's kind of ridiculous. I know there are some trans guys that are kind of coming out into the public eye a little bit more. A lot of guys through the YouTube are sort of shedding a little more light on trans guys and what it's like to be trans, and how, you know, basically kind of making it like this is totally normal. This is just a thing. Like, people need to get over it. And I posted something on my Facebook, and one of my friends commented on it, on this whole thing about how it's sort of trans women are kind of seen more negatively than trans guys, because trans guys can kind of blend a little bit better. I know, I've heard that there are people that want to transition or want to start hormones for like a limited time, so that they can get some sort of effect of some way, shape, or form. But it's a bit silly to like be like, oh, I'm gonna start for a little bit, and then, you know, no. I also think that anyone that wants to transition has a lot of thinking to do. You need to do your research. You need to really be sure. That's why when I first realized that I was trans, I didn't transition for probably 5 years. I think something like that. Because I wasn't ready. I didn't feel ready. I didn't fully know what it meant. I didn't fully understand it. And I did my research, and I made sure that, like, I researched not only online about what it was, but I essentially researched within myself, to make sure this is what I wanted to do. And then when I realized, when everything within me was like connected and was like, no, this is exactly what it is, that's when I took the steps to start doing it. So if there's anyone that is still thinking but you know, isn't sure, don't do it yet. Make sure you're sure. I was kind of worried at first that it was like, oh, is this gonna be seen as some trendy thing, or just like a fad, or like some phase in my life that I'm just going through that I'm gonna like not want to do later. So that's why I wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure that I was ready for this. And yeah, and once I was like, all right, this is it. We're good. Let's do this. Yeah. So I think the people that may think it's a trend are the people that also don't understand it, that don't understand what it takes. And maybe there are some trans guys that are just like, oh, you're just like, you know, now you're just doing it because it seems to be the cool thing to do. It's like, why? Do you want, like, why are you getting down on people for transitioning? Like, maybe there are some people who are doing it the wrong way. Maybe there are some people who are doing it because they want to. But it's not any of our places to, like, pass judgment on that. Because people are gonna, you know, it's people's lives, and why are we passing judgment on the decisions that they're making and, like, the realizations that they're having about themselves? It seems unnecessary. And maybe it's, you know, maybe there's some people who are saying this sort of thing, like trans guys or like whatever, that are just like, they want to have it all to themselves and they want to be like special. And it's like, don't be selfish, man. Like, I mean, here's the thing, is one of my friends transitioned like 2 years before me. One of my exes transitioned before me. I just realized 2 of my friends from college are transitioning. Well, one just started, I think, and the other one has transitioned. I don't know how long ago he did, but it's like, you know, it's just becoming more. People are more well ready to admit that, you know, their feelings and their thoughts and like stuff's actually piecing together for them, because of the fact that there's more light being shed upon it. I think that's why I didn't realize what it was, or like what it meant, until I saw something online and the light bulb clicked on, and the wheels started moving, and then it started making sense. And maybe that's why people think it's a trend, only because light is being shed upon it, and people are finally realizing what these feelings they had inside themselves actually mean. And so they're finally taking the steps to do something about it so that they're not so miserable. Trying to censor myself in this, but I do have some opinions upon this, as you can tell. So I apologize if I said any, if I was like getting heated or emotional about things and kind of let some inappropriate words slip. But I don't know. That's kind of my opinion. I know it's kind of rambly. I just wanted to get stuff out before it was too late in the day. I still have to do my shot today. I want to cut my hair today because this is starting to look kind of chia pet hedgehog, and it's, yeah, like I told you guys, my hair grows fast. Like, it's already like coming over my ears, and I can't. This whole thing, I don't know what's happening here. I don't like it. So I'm gonna fix that pretty soon. Yeah, so thanks for hanging in there during my fidgety rambling. I'll see you guys next week for whatever topic it is. Feel free to watch the other guys. It's a lot of us with our opinions. Remember, it's our opinions. But feel free to share your thoughts and feelings on the subject. Let us know what else you want us to talk about, and what else you want to know, or whatever. Yeah, I think I've talked enough. So I'll catch you guys next week. Thanks. Later.